Well, we've got no thanks. At least we've got our memorial. We've been approaching the government for ages for a medal, but they don't want to know. They don't want no, just completely blank. We just asked. All we wanted was a campaign medal, not for us, but for the boys that have been killed. They've got nothing, and all we wanted was a campaign medal for the aircrew who bombed Germany, which they refused. They still refused. So we decided to approach the government for a memorial. They didn't want to know. Didn't want to know. So we decided to go our own back. So 4 or 5 of us got together and we decided that this memorial must be built. The way we're going on, we're losing on our Bomber Command Association, we're losing about 50 members a month anyway. And so the way rate it's going on, there won't be anybody left to recognise what Bomber Command done. And we started it in the RAF club in Piccadilly, and we picked up about 200 quid. We approached the architect, O'Connor. He came down and see us, and he said, I estimate what you want, it's going to cost 3.5 million quid. And we just stood back, we couldn't believe it. Anyway, we got the best sculptor, fellow named Jackson, and he said he wanted 1 million. So that's 4.5 million before we started. Then we got got a terrific support from the Variety Club of Great Britain. Their heritage part side of it decided they was going to help us, and they did help us. We phoned up the Daily Telegraph and explained the situation. They said no problem, and they put a 2-page advert. They didn't charge us for it. 2-page advert in their paper, appealing for funds for the memorial. The following week, we got 89,000 letters from the public with money in it. But our greatest problem was getting permission, because we decided that we must have this memorial in a prominent place for everybody to see and easily approachable. So we were sitting in the RAF club in Piccadilly, and one of them said, well, that's where we want the memorial, in Green Park. That is when our problems started. We approached Westminster Council, said we'd like to put a memorial in Green Park. They said no, straight away. You don't have no memorial in Green Park. It boiled down to the fact that they decided to have a vote. On the left-hand side, they voted yes for the memorial, and on the right-hand side, they said no. Top man, the chairman, had the deciding vote, and we knew he was pro-Bomber Command. And it was his deciding vote that we got the memorial in Green Park.
It's marvellous, but look at it in reverse. Why did it take 75 years to put that memorial to men who were losing 7 out of 12? It doesn't make sense, does it? And it's surprising how a thing like that loses effect over the years. We all knew how bad it was because we'd been there. We'd been knocked out of the sky and so on. But these fellas had never seen anything else but an armchair in the mess at night, and that was it.
I was in there looking up at these people, and some fellow was trying to take a photograph, you see. And so I said, I'm sorry, I'm in your way. And so I moved out of his way, and he took his photograph. And I should never forget it. He said to me, were you one of them? And I said, yes. He said, well, thank you very much. I felt quite emotional, you know. Mm.
I was lucky enough to be here a month ago when this memorial was unveiled, and there was a most fantastic atmosphere in the park. For once, the sun was shining this summer, and as the veterans arrived from all the 4 corners of the world, you could see this enormous depth of feeling that they unleashed, really. First would arrive the Australians, getting off their bus in their slouch hats, then the New Zealanders in their white Panamas, then the men from Canada. And they represented, of course, all those men who had fought and died with Bomber Command, and they were the veterans themselves. And then the Royals arrived, and they were very pleased to see them, of course. What I didn't realise at the time was we all knew what a magnificent memorial this was, and although this was meant to provide a lasting memory for the families of those who died in Bomber Command, I didn't realise that the families, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, sometimes the sons and daughters would take over. And only a month has gone by, and already this memorial is a shrine. There are photographs of lost aircrew pinned to it. There are little stories about who they were, what they meant to their families, and very touching stories about how a mother never got over losing her only son, and little messages like that. I can now see that this will grow over the years, and I'm sure that it's a surprise to the people who worked so hard to build this memorial, because it was built for the lost aircrew. Nobody could ever have envisaged that this would touch the heart of the nation so much that people would want to come here to see these little messages from people who weren't just figures on a plinth, but were actual aircrew who flew off into the night and failed to return. And it's been very good to return myself today and see what's happening. And I'm going to come back again and again and watch those messages grow.